What is going on, guys? It is Wednesday, and that means paintball question time. Gregory Padget asks, I'm new to tournament paintball. What are some things I can do to improve my skills? So first, let's say, if you want to increase skills, right, like snap shooting, running and shooting, laning, all that stuff, there's one effective way to do it. Drills. Something that I did that made me much better at snap shooting was really just set 2 bunkers up, get a cone, put that cone right hanging out the side of the bunker, and I just come out, shoot one ball over and over and over. Even after doing that like 2 times really, say you shoot 2 bags each time, like I guarantee you will see a difference in form, that memory muscle thing, and accuracy. So all about drills. Snap shooting drills, setting up cones and just running and shooting over and over and over and over. And doing it so much that it just becomes second nature. Same thing with laning. Put cone somewhere and just turn around off the start gate and just shoot that cone over and over. It's something that a lot of teams don't do. People just go out and run points. And you have to think that maybe you go out and run 20 points, and that'd be a good long day of practice. But you only get to shoot that cone off the break 20 times. When you could take a case of paint and shoot that cone like 150 times. So it's much more productive to me to run drills. It's important to play people better than you too. Because if you're playing people at your level, you don't need to get better. You just, can beat them every once in a while and you don't need to improve. But if you play players or teams that are better than you, you need to improve. If you want to beat people, you have to play better. So playing people better than you and your team is also really important. I find that watching players that are better than I am also is really helpful. I can learn like new techniques or, different ways to hold my gun or little tactics or tricks that I can carry over into actual gameplay. So drills, playing people better than you, and then watching and learning from people better than you as well. Armando Lopez asked, I just picked up a Geo 3 and I was curious what I should do for maintenance. So I typically think there's like 2 kinds of maintenance. There's regular maintenance, and then kind of like every once in a while stuff. So with the Geo, you should be greasing all the O-rings on the bolt every time you play. I think it's a good idea to do it the night before or the morning of, just so that you have fresh grease and it's not all dried up. A lot of people, when they get home, like to take stuff apart and clean it and make sure everything's looking good, which is a good thing, right? Keeping equipment clean is good. But if you grease then and then play like 3 months later, that grease is going to be all dried up and your gun's not going to work so good. So I think the night before or the morning of is the best time to grease. And that's true for most guns, whether it's a Spider or a Tippmann or a Lux or a Mini, whatever it is. I think it's good to do that maintenance stuff the day before you go play. And then that every once in a while maintenance, at least with the Geo, I think every 20, 30 cases of paint, it's probably a good idea to take apart the regulator, grease the regulator, and maybe while you're at it, just change all the O-rings on the bolt and the regulator too. That's about all. Mark Jensen, who do you think the best paintball team is ever? That's kind of a hard one. I'm kind of torn between Edmonton Impact, like right now, how good they are, and then Dynasty's like whole tenure of their careers. So, Dynasty. Yeah, like no one's even come close to playing as long as they have and still be relevant. I mean, they've been like one of the best teams for the last, 15 years. 15 years is a long time, especially in paintball. I mean, we've only been playing these tournaments for like 30, and Dynasty's been one of the top teams for the last 15. And they were super dominant in like the early mid-2000s. So, Dynasty. Cameron Aguirre asks, what is your dream gun setup? So, my dream paintball gun is kind of stuff I already have. So I would say Planet Eclipse GSL all dust black. So they didn't make the GSL in dust black. So I'd have to get a gun and re-anodize it. But yeah. GSL Empire 80 with Ninja V2 ProReg and Spire 3 with Planet Eclipse FL barrels. Yeah, that'd be cool. I have one of those things. I have an 80 and I have a 3.5, so I kind of have a GSL. It's just not as cool as a GSL. Don't have an FL barrel. Don't have a Spire 3. Omar Azcue asked, could you explain a bit more on the levels for tournaments? I know there are different divisions that are D1, D2, D3, and D4, but are there any lower divisions? Definitely below Division 4, there's Division 5, Division 6, which is some kind called beginner, which is typically 3-man, and then below that, there's Young Guns. Typically Young Guns is, I think, 14 and under. So yeah, there's definitely below Division 4. A lot of the Division 5 stuff, though, is going to be more local. Some of the like regional tournaments don't have Division 5. The NXL is going on this weekend. They definitely have Division 5 though. And then a lot of the Division 6 stuff is definitely local, where they're doing 3-man. And that 2-man Young Gun stuff should also mostly just be local. That was paintball question time. Guys, if you have questions, leave a comment below or use hashtag PBQT. And if you want to watch more of these things, check out that big rectangular box. Subscribe on that circle if you haven't already, or check out the Paintball Ruin My Life store in that rectangle square box.